Hello, feliz viernes, happy Friday. It has been a while since I've done one of these. Um, Toby, not now. Okay, well, somebody wants to be here. You must probably know that. So, this month is Suicide Prevention Month, and more than ever lately, more than this last couple of weeks, I've been kind of processing my own story and just kind of reflecting back on how far I've come in my journey. And so when I started doing this little vlog thing, it was just kind of just sharing, like my journey as a therapist, being in going to therapy school or becoming a therapist and going through my own therapy journey. And with time, it's evolved now to more of like a healer that's in her own healing journey, is a way that I like to kind of reframe it and change it, because it's not just therapy that I'm doing now. It's just more of a deeper. Toby, okay, go, because now go, shoot, go. So now it's evolved to a whole different role and how I want to show up for the people that I work with, right? And the services that I offer. More of a decolonized approach, or holistic approach too. Anyways, so where was I going with this? So being that it's Suicide Prevention Month, I've been hearing a lot of stories from people. I've been hearing a lot of struggles that my clients are currently going through, and to an extent, there is a collective grief that we're all kind of going through right now, and a lot of just mixed emotions are just really intensified. And so sometimes that brings up like the suicide ideation higher, like the fear and like the anxiety and all of that stuff. So people have been just more elevated than probably what we're used to. So I just want to point that out, just in case people have been feeling intensified on emotions and stuff. I've also been just kind of thinking about my own story. Yesterday I had therapy Thursday, and we finally have been kind of going back to my story. On when I first, well, all the times we've been kind of working through all the trauma of why I have attempted in the past, and it's been hard. It hasn't been an easy journey. I've been in therapy for about, I want to say 7 years now, and some stuff has been hard just to kind of talk about. So it's just a reminder for people of not having any high expectations of you doing it wrong when you go to therapy, that everyone is in their own pace, and that is okay. So we finally got to the point of yesterday. We did an EMDR session, and we went back to when I first attempt. Trigger warning, please be careful with, just your responses or the way that you may be feeling by me sharing my story. My intent is not to intensify or activate you any more than anything, but it's just my intent is just to share my story and my truth, to be able to help people just kind of see that, okay, this is not me, that's something wrong with me. I just like to be true, and I like to be raw. That's just who I am, because I just think it's important just to kind of put it out there. So we went yesterday, we did EMDR, and we went back to the time of when I first attempted. And I went into the session just kind of curious, because I recently went on the shooting range, and I thought I was ready to do that, but it turns out that my body had a different reaction, and was not ready to kind of experience that piece again. So I was really just kind of, I think I was just wanting to explore that piece of me, right? And that's okay, right? Of like just recognizing that maybe this part of my life is already closed, and it's not something that I may find joy in, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just more of like for my protection. So I wanted to explore that yesterday, and we did. And when I was in the session, when I was doing EMDR, it took me back way to the room of just kind of remembering like when it all went down. And before, when I would think about this memory, it's still very much heavy. Like I'm still processing. I just finished, chillona, crying, like ugly crying, as I was stretching. But that's why I have sunglasses, because my eyes were all poofy. But I wanted to share this in this still raw state that I kind of feel. And so when we went back, usually when I go back to that memory, I can't continue to process or talk about it, because it's just very much, I was looking at it from a place of shame and still like judging myself, right? Of like, why did I do that? Like, you're so dumb and everything. So yesterday was the first time where I was able to actually look at that memory and really sit with it, and really just sit with the memory and the somatic feelings that I was experiencing, and like all the things, right? And just like everything that my body was feeling like as I was reliving the memory, kind of thing. But I was able to go back and just really have a lot of compassion and grace for that version of me, because even to that time, like, she had gone through a whole lot, stuff that I don't even know how I'm still here today. But I am grateful that I'm still here, because goodness gracious, man, that version of me, she knew that she deserved something better, and that she deserved to be safe. And that was her way of protecting herself, of thinking that this is the way that she wanted to end that version of her life, maybe, or whatever it was. But she knew that she wanted more. So it was a lot of like just grace and compassion for myself of what I've gone through. And it's just so beautiful to see how much it's really changed, and how much I would have missed out, all the beauty and all the love and all the memories, all the good memories that I would have missed out. And just the life, right, of like, now I get to build a life that I want. And for that, I'm always going to be grateful, because that just shows the strength that I have within myself. And I share that for people that are kind of going through their own journeys of their own mental health struggles, right? Of like, when they start to question themselves of like, am I doing enough? Am I, is this even worth it? I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know, I get it. I've been there. I've been there multiple times, and it's something that in the moment it feels like those thoughts are very much true and real, and that it's the only way of thinking, but it's not. It takes so much effort to just actively sit with your thoughts and reframing them, and just even distracting yourself when you're feeling anxious, or when you're feeling, all of these intense emotions that you don't know how to regulate, because nobody probably ever taught you. So it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of time to just learn how to just have that compassion and love for yourself. So don't judge yourself in the way that you may have handled a situation, even though you knew better. Don't hate yourself for overreacting or having these angry outbursts, because no one ever showed you how to just say no, or a boundary, right? Or even how to express yourself. Don't shame yourself if you need time for you because you feel dysregulated and you get overwhelmed and overstimulated. There's nothing wrong with you. There's no shame in being awkward. Awkward is what authenticity is, and that's the truest version of love, in my opinion. So yeah, this is just a reminder, Consejo Viernes, that no matter of what you've been through, and no matter of what you have been challenged with, you got you, and you're gonna figure it out along the way, even if it's not the wisest decision first on. Even then, if you mess up 3 more times or 20 more times, you're gonna keep repeating the same pattern until you decide to do something different. So just remember that instead of trying to figure out the little ins and outs, it's just more of like, what's the pattern that I am repeating that I probably need to change? And sometimes, again, like I said, you'll learn that lesson over and over and over until you decide to do something different. And at the end of the day, it's always about choosing yourself, choosing what's going to be the best option for you and what's going to bring you safety. You always have to be safe within yourself before you expect it out in the world. So I know that was probably a lot of rambling, but I just wanted to share that because it was still very much raw in my heart. And I think it's important just to show a little bit of rawness and vulnerability, because this world needs it. This world just needs love and vulnerability so that we can put some of these walls down and love on each other again. Take care of you. It's probably going to be an intense weekend if you follow astrology, but take care of you, love on you a little bit, and disengage from the outer world. Have a good day.